Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. It's your boy Uren here. Remember to go ahead and like the video as you join, subscribe if you're new, and be sure to watch those ads. Now, based on my title, of course, as you can see, I'm looking forward to giving up my apartment for one of several reasons, hence why I'm coming to make this video for you guys to tell me if it makes sense to give the apartment up or if there's a possibility that I could, incorporate the apartment in my plans. You know what I'm saying? Now, also, before I do state my reasons, bear in mind that in a few weeks, my status in Canada will be changing. And, that kind of changes, it changes a little bit in my life right now. So bear that in mind. I will no longer be on a study permit. I'll be transferring over to a work permit. And I'm going to have to make a separate video to say, how those changes will affect my life. Now, back to if I should give up the apartment. For 2025, I have a few goals that I want to accomplish. And just like anything in life, nothing comes free, all right? This goal is me finally, and I've come to the conclusion that yes, I need to get a car. It's not even a question anymore. Like after these past few weeks, or I've been just like 2 weeks, right, of working in my new accounting job, I realized that having a car would benefit me in a lot of ways, even though it will be an additional expense. It's like the benefits outweigh the costs. You understand? And right now, it's essential that I get a car. Especially with the fact that coming January, again, with my situation changing, I will now be working for 6 days of the week, literally. Like I'll be working 3 days at my accounting job and 3 days at the serving job, right? So I'll be on the road for majority of the week. Now, with that said, I am in my apartment right now, and let me just give you guys a bit of transparency. I think you guys even noticed already, right? So currently, I pay $1,190 for just rent. You understand? And it's not that I can't afford it, right? I've done the finances, etc. And I could afford to live here as well as get a car, but I'm not sure if it's feasible. Like, I'm not sure if it's like the best way to go about doing things, right? Now, aside from just having to pay for rent, I also have to think about, my utilities. I got my electricity to cover, and I also got internet to cover as well, right? Plus, of course, other expenses which I wouldn't account for, because even if I should move somewhere else, like for example, food, I will still need to have food, my phone bill, those are things that are mandatory, like those cannot be changed. You understand? I mean, yes, I could lessen the cost for food, etc., but I think the cost is already low enough. Now back to what I was saying. So the apartment, the rent alone is I would say fairly high, or not even, it's not extremely high, but it's high to the point where I don't have that much room for savings, right? And I think, if I should go to live with a roommate, and I know many of you guys know by me saying roommate, some persons would say, so, this is what they were telling me to get a roommate from the beginning, from when I was living over the other house, some persons were suggesting, for those persons, they would have said, hey, this is what I was telling you. But again, it is of no issue for me to be here and have a car. The only difference is that if I should give up the apartment, right? One, I would move in with a roommate again, which would then reduce my rent costs. And in reducing my rent costs, it would allow me to have more room for savings, right? So that's like the main point, the main picture right now. Having more room for savings will allow me to afford my car in a shorter amount of time, which means that I won't have to suffer for 6 days of the week going to work for too long. You understand? As opposed to if I should not go with a roommate and live in the apartment, I could still get a car, as I mentioned earlier. But it's just that it would take me longer than if I should be living with a roommate. So the main thing comes down to the point of, okay, is it worth staying here for having not that many room to save, but at the same time I'm still able down the line, maybe like a 3 months extra on it for me to afford a car. You understand? Like a 3 months extra. Like, is it 3 months worth it? That's the question right now. Is it worth to stay 3 months? Right? Is it worth for me to continue working 3 months extra in order to achieve a car, as opposed to if I should be with a roommate and would have been able to achieve that car 3 months earlier? My initial plan is to get my car, right? If I'm in the apartment by May, right? If I'm not in the apartment, then 3 months earlier than May, which I think that's gonna be what? March, April, May? No, so it's like not even March, by February. January, February, so March, April, yeah, around there. You get me? So that's the question. Like, is it worth it? Like, what do you guys think? Like, take a minute and think about it. Like, does it worth giving up the apartment? I don't know. Like let me know what you guys think. And the next thing that I want you guys to keep in mind as well is that when I do get a car, right? Keep in mind this as well. When I do get a car, there's also additional expenses that comes with owning a car, which, like, let me tell you something. I never knew that it was more expensive to own a car in Canada than it is to own it in Jamaica. Like, it's a lot more expensive to own a car here in Canada than if I was in Jamaica. You get me? I never knew that. Like, the insurance here is crazy, especially because I would be like a new time driver. You understand? It's like they're gonna be like, oh, I'm high risk because of obviously it's my first time trying to drive, and of course, high risk means I gotta pay more premiums, right? So my insurance package would be higher than the average, maybe, and like when I say higher, I'm talking about like maybe like a good 300, 250 a month or even more, right? So that's one thing to account for. Again, I'll have to also service the car, like the car can run on water. I'll need to buy gas maybe like every week or so. You get me? Depending on how fast the car uses gas, you understand? So like all those would come into account, etc., etc. Now, my price range for a car, and again, this is my first car, so I don't need anything fancy. I just need something to get me from point A to point B to C to D. You understand? Like, just bring me around. I don't want to be outside waiting the bus for an hour. So like my price range for a car right now is about $5,000, 5,000 Canadian dollars. And again, I think I can achieve this plan in 5 months. You get me? I think you can achieve this plan in 5 months' time with the apartment. Without the apartment, I could do this in like 3 months. No jokes. Without the apartment. You get me? So like, I'm thinking of giving up the apartment. And I'm also thinking of keeping the apartment. So like, it's a fight, it's a clash in my brain right now to choose which is it that I'm gonna be going with. You understand? But based on my reasoning so far, I want for you guys to tell me what you think. Like, should I keep the apartment? It's a lovely place, I won't lie. You get me? Like, I've already like set it up or would like for it to be. So it's like I've made it home. You get me? I've made it home. But again, right, like paying almost 1,200 a month in rent, it's not the easiest. You get me? And if I should move in with a roommate, based on the market right now, I could see where I would just pay like $800 with utilities, right? So maybe like $850 the most. I would save $950, $1050, $1150. I practically save $350 right off the bat, $350 a month. You understand? In 2 months, that's $700 extra I could save. And if you want to go further, in 3 months, I could save an extra $1,050. You get me? So like, is it worth it or not? You understand? But let me know what you guys think again down below in the comment section. Do bear in mind that my lease for this place ends in June. However, if I do decide to give up the apartment, I'll do a lease transfer, which isn't hard. Like, especially for the time that I'll look into transfer my lease, which is going to be in January. That's a time where people are looking for, places, especially like, I'm saying a lot of especially, but I'm in this university type building because again, I'm right across the road from university, and then a new semester will be starting in January. So like, people are coming in the country, in the city, so people are looking for places to stay. So yeah, that's something to account for. Again, let me know what you guys think, and bear in mind that going forward, also while I'm working, I'm gonna be saving to go back to school again. You understand? Because we have to finish the bachelor's degree, and then we have to finish my CPA. So as soon as I get my car, the next immediate goal after that is basically save to go back to school. You get me? So yeah, and I want to go back to school by I should at least be 22. Like the fall semester of 22. That's when I want to go back, which is like 2 years from now. So again, let me know what you guys think